Welcome to Joey's Tech, my friends. In this video, we'll solve a Leetcode problem, which is power of 3. It's a good problem to solve and is one of the popular interview questions that is asked from Leetcode. So let's quickly take a look at its problem statement. You are given an integer n. The ask is that your program should return true if n is a power of 3, else it should return false. So if you take a look at the equation over here, then you can say that n is a power of 3 if there exists an integer. I repeat, integer, which is x. I'll be telling you two methods to solve this problem of power of 3. One will use recursion and the other will use the logarithmic function available in java.lang.math class. But before that, if you are new to my channel, then hit the subscribe button and the bell icon, as that way you won't miss out on these coding tutorial videos I create for you. I am in my IntelliJ IDE now, in which I have created this class power of 3, in which I am going to write this Java program. So we'll create the main function now. So for that, we are going to simply write psvm. And there you go, main function created in the IntelliJ IDE. We will first declare an integer variable n and initialize it to, let's say, 81. So for that, we are going to write int n. After the equals to sign, we'll write 81. Okay. The first technique to solve this problem is to find out this x and check if x is an integer. For that, we'll use this math rule of logarithms to find x. And this expression log n to the base 3 can be rewritten as log n to the base 10 divided by log 3 to the base 10. The value of the numerator and the denominator can be easily calculated using the log10 function from the java.lang.math class. So let's declare a double variable first and let's call it x. So let's write double x. Now we will have to import the java.lang.math class first to make use of the log10 function. So we are going to write import java.lang.math. Okay. Now let's make use of the log10 function. So for that, we are going to write x equals to math.log10, and within its brackets we are going to pass n divided by math.log10, and within its brackets we are going to pass 3. Okay, that's it. Now if n is not a power of 3, then this x over here is going to contain a decimal value. Else, if n is a power of 3, x is going to contain an integer. And this can be simply checked by typecasting the value of x to integer and comparing it again with x. If they both are same, then n is a power of 3, else it's not. And we are going to make that check in system.out.println only, so that directly the boolean value gets printed. So it will be system.out.println, and within its brackets we are going to write within brackets int. Okay, after that we'll write x. So here we are typecasting the value of x to an integer, and we are going to compare it using the comparison operator against x only. Okay, so if they both are same, then true will be returned, else this expression over here is going to return false. So the program is complete. Let's run it and check the output. And there you go. The program says true, which means that 81 is a power of 3. And yes, it is. 3 to the power 4 is 81. Now let's change this 81 to 80 and rerun the program, and let's see if it prints false this time or not. And there you go. The program says false. Let me change this 80 to 27, which is again a power of 3. The program should print a true. and it has printed true. That means this method that we have coded over here is working fine. Now this was method number 1. Let's look into the second method, which is going to solve this problem using recursion. For that, we'll create one function. We are going to call it f_power of 3. This is going to accept one argument, which will be n, this n. So let's create that function over here. It will be public static, and it is going to return a boolean value. So the return type will be boolean. We are going to call it f_power of 3, and it's going to accept an integer argument, which will be n. Okay. The idea is to keep dividing the number n by 3 until it becomes 1 and then return true. So first we'll write the code to check if n is equal to 1 or not. If it is, then we are going to return true. Okay. In the else part, we'll write return and make a recursive function call. So for that, we are going to write f_power of 3, but this time as its parameter, we'll pass n divided by 3. Okay. So let's say if 27 is passed as the value of n, then in the successive recursive function call, 9 will be passed as the parameter. And in the next recursive function call, 3 will be passed as the parameter. And in the final recursive function call, 1 will be passed as the parameter. You see, every time the value is getting divided by 3. So when n becomes 1, true will be returned all the way to the first function call, and then finally to the main function. Okay. But wait a minute. We will have to take care of that value of n, which is not divisible by 3. So before this else, we are going to write an else if. Okay. And as its condition, we are going to check if n is not divisible by 3. If it is not divisible by 3, then the program should return false. Okay. So if 33 is passed as the value of n, let's say 33 is divisible by 3, hence false won't be returned, but a successive recursive function call will be made and 11 will be passed as its parameter. Now in the next function call, this check is going to determine that 11 is not divisible by 3. Hence false will be returned from the second recursive function call to the first function call, and finally false will be returned to the main function. Okay. And now we are going to make the function call from here, from the main function, and we are going to do that from system.out.println. So within its brackets, we are going to call f_power of 3, and as its parameter, we are going to pass n. Okay. So our program is complete. Let's run it and check the output. And there you go, the program returns true when n is 27. Let's pass 28. It should return false. And it does. Let's pass 9 this time. Alright, it returns true. Let's pass 243, which is 3 raised to the power of 5. And again it returns true. So this method has also passed a lot of test cases. I have already submitted both the methods on Leetcode. The recursion method is faster than the first method that we coded over here. And with this, we have come to the end of this video. If you have enjoyed learning this problem from Joey's Tech, then do let me know in the comment section. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye and take very good care of yourself.